Hey, what's up guys? Gavin Battlefield Bricks here for my first collection video for all of my World War II vehicles and figures. This has been a greatly anticipated video and probably my most requested video, but here we are. With over 300 custom printed minifigures, over 30 vehicles and pieces of equipment from 4 nations. This has been a lot of work to put together, so make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps me out a ton. Now before we get into anything, I have a few things I want to go over with you guys. Firstly, where I get my stuff. I use a ton of different companies for my figures, but they mostly consist of the Minifig Co., Parabellum Bricks, Valiant Bricks, Brick Fabric, Force Moon Bricks, Never Brick, United Brick, and a few other companies that I only have a few figures from. Now, when I go over each nation, I'll try and give a little bit more specifics on where I got some of the figures from. And for the vehicles, most of them are from the incredibly talented PanzerBrickLabs, which has models available for purchase on his websites, and I just cannot recommend his models enough. The rest of these models are from a variety of designers and some from myself, so I will have it on screen who is the original designer and if instructions are available for purchase or not. Next, I want to say a huge thank you to you guys from the bottom of my heart as we have recently hit 2,500 subscribers. I really can't believe the channel has gotten this far in the short time it has. I started this channel back up to try and bring epic LEGO build series back to the LEGO military community here on YouTube. I had a lot of fond memories watching them growing up, and so I'm glad I can start contributing to that now. Now along the way, I had a few major inspirations for bringing this channel to where it is today. Firstly, I would like to say thanks to the Brick Crew for inspiring me to get back into military building, and to Coconut Brick Studios for inspiring me to do build series the way I do. I also want to give a special thank you to my girlfriend who has helped me sort and dismantle a lot of builds, and it's always a pleasure to have her helping me out in the LEGO room. And a huge thanks to all of you guys who like and subscribe or even just watching my videos. It really means a lot to me, so thanks for 2,500, and here's to getting to 5,000 here in the near future. Now I know this video is a long one, but bear with me here as we have over 300 minifigures and 30 vehicles to go over. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe down below and to let me know in the comments which vehicle is your favorite. Now with all that said and done, we should get into some armies here. I think the best way to do it is to go by nation, so let's start off with my newest army, the Soviets. So my Soviet forces entirely started at the beginning of this year after deciding to do Kharkov as my next build series. Before that point, all I had in my collection were a few brick arms pieces and a Nashwanka, which didn't really cut it, so I went around the internet and found this company called Never Brick. They have tons of Soviet stuff like bodies and headgear. There's also some Angel Bricks, Figs, and some Brick Soldiers as the tankers, and a lot of the TMC winter wrap heads. Another company that I used to make these guys look so good is the Brick Fabric, and for the equipment and tanks I just kind of got what I recognize as like classic Soviet tanks and the Gazev M truck. I just feel like they're just kind of fitting as like a base starter line of vehicles to have. Alright, and first up for our Soviet armor and vehicles is going to be the T-34-76. This is based off of World War II MC's design. Very happy with how this came out. Only had to do a couple slight modifications to it, but the T-34 was the main kind of medium battle tank of the Soviet forces during World War II, and it's carried on service well beyond that. This is the 76.2 millimeter gun. It's got the more kind of squared off turret that's kind of got that boxy shape to it. Overall, that didn't break off. Very happy with the overall design of this, even though it is a little bit more on the fragile side. It looks really great, and let's move on. Alright, and here is the T-34-85. This is the same exact hull as the other one. The only difference for this model is the turret and the gun. This uses the 85mm gun, which was a lot more powerful. Looks really great with this rounded turret. I've just gone ahead and added a couple of Brickmania stickers to kind of give it more realistic feel. I still need to go and add all of the field gear and all that for this one, but yeah, let's move on to the next one. Alright, and here is the KV-1 designed by PanzerBrickLabs. He's an absolutely fantastic designer, and this is absolutely no exception. This is a fantastic model. The turret does spin all the way around. It perfectly captures that really boxy look that the KV-1 had. Also has a 76mm gun, but the frontal armor on this thing was ridiculous. If my memory serves me correct, it's like 152mm or something like that. Got Brickmania crate up here, some rolled up felt as a bedroll, and then some logs strapped here on the back as well. Let's move on to the last little bit of German equipment. Right, so these last two I'm going to be showing off together because I feel that they just really fit. First up is the Gaz MM. This is based off of Mac's Lego design. Had to definitely work around areas that I couldn't figure out based off of the photos he has up on his Flickr, but it's a really great little design. Tried to pack this thing full with Brickmania crates, oil drums, bed rolls, all the good stuff. And another great thing about this is it has a tow hitch on the back that I was able to add that very well supports this M19 37-45mm anti-tank gun. The Soviets nicknamed it the Little 45. It's a fast-firing anti-tank gun. Not super effective towards the end of the war, but it could shoot off quite a few shells in not a lot of time. So starting off with my Soviet figures, I'm going to start off with the officers here. A lot of these bodies are from Neverbrick RU. I have a singular Brickmania figure, and a lot of these headgears are also from Neverbrick. These heads, a lot of them are TMC printed heads. There's a few United Bricks heads in here. Overall, I just kind of wanted to get a better winter feel for my Russian forces. So these Brick Fabric trench coats, well, great coats, really help a lot. And we also have at the end here some of these fur coats that are in the light tan color with the reddish brown Ushankas. I think those work pretty well. And then these tankers, the two on the right are from Angel Bricks, and the one on the left is from Brick Soldier, along with Brickmania 3D printed tanker helmets. My British forces was one of the first armies I started building up, as Force Moon Bricks has pretty readily available figures that are well stocked, and they really do look fantastic. Pretty sure almost all of my figs are from Force Moon Bricks here, with some headgear from Valiant Bricks and two figures from TMC. I really wanted to have a Sherman Firefly and a Churchill, as I think they're the most iconic British tanks, even though the Firefly is half American, and the Spitfire is one of the most iconic planes ever created, so just had to go in the collection. First up for British armor and equipment is the Sherman VC Firefly. This is based off of PanzerBrickLabs design. It's absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite tanks I own in my collection, and one of my favorite tanks throughout the entirety of the Second World War. It just uses an M4 Sherman base, and it has the 17-pounder gun that had to be specially retrofitted to the turrets sideways, just so it could fit properly in real life. But this model, I'm not proud to say I've kind of started picking at it, replacing parts with wrong colors, whatnot, just for other models. But this one has a mix of decals, Brickmania stickers, and brick built emblems. Truly one of the pinnacles of my kind of scale modeling career, I would say, is this model. Very proud of it. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. And here we have my Churchill. This is also designed by PanzerBrickLabs. I was really inspired to beef this one up with a bunch of sandbags built up around the turret and the front of the tank by some skins in Battlefield 5 that I remember seeing. Had a super good time decking this one out, as it's one of the main infantry support vehicles of the British Army during the Second World War. I've got it decked out with capes, cut antennas, some T right here, bags, extra helmets on the side, and then tons and tons of decals all over this thing with numbers, markings, just all over. But yeah, let's get into the next one. Next we just have this British 6-pounder gun. It's originally based off of Brick's design, but I've gone ahead and updated the gun shields to have a little bit more shape to it. Super happy with this one. I've already featured this one in one of my dioramas that I've done on my Instagram, so make sure to go check that out. Love the details with all the hands, the steering wheel piece that has been torn off the actual frame of that. And this one's a lot of U-clip spamming up towards the top here to get that gun shield shaping just right. Yeah, let's move into the next gun. Next up we have the Bofors 40mm anti-aircraft gun. I was super inspired to make this by the scenes in Band of Brothers where they're opening up on a pottery airfields and all the decked out airborne troops are walking past these kind of just gun emplacements protecting the airfield. This is inspired by Allied Bricks design out on Flickr. Another thing that I've forgotten to mention with all of my guns I have, I like to make sure that they can all fold up for transport or stowage. Guns have elevation, whatnot, and this one also has another hitch attachment here on the back that has just fallen off for transport as well. And last up here for my British forces is my Spitfire Mark 5B. Very happy with how this one turned out. This one is designed by yours truly. It's my first real take on designing a 1/45th scaled aircraft. It's been a real challenge moving my mindset over from 1/35th to 1/45th, but with some inspiration from Mechanics Lego, I was able to get my foot in the door on 1/45th aircraft building. This one is just another variation of my one that I have posted. This time I've gone ahead and changed a few things. Mostly noticeably is the decals that I've added on the wings and the sides of the aircraft, along with the yellow strips with the red tape covering up the guns on the wings. Super very much love this one, especially the kind of elliptical wing shape. I wish I could show you guys that I was able to achieve here, and the underside as well. It's a very sleek aircraft, very swooshable. I've definitely flown this thing around my room too many times to count, making all the plane noises. But yeah, let's move on. For my British figures, as I said before, they're pretty much all from Forest Moon Bricks. A lot of these heads are either official Lego heads or TMC printed heads. I think there's a few Forest Moon Bricks heads in there as well, but for the most part, these guys are all duplicates of either just the normal Bren body or the one with the bandolier. A few of these guys are missing legs. I just do not know where they have gone. A couple of these helmets are the netted Brodies from Valiant Bricks. They really do look fantastic. I wish the color was a little bit more OD green and not olive, but kind of have a nice mix of them. And to end here, have some guys with white shirts kind of showing those undergarments for hot weather. Got some tankers here from Parabellum Bricks with the berets and headgear, but not headgear, headsets, and some pilots from TMC that I've given some tan goggle covers and one of them a oxygen mask. So I've had some American figures for a while in the form of my 101st Airborne figs, but after finishing up Con and I finished collecting all the Russian forces I was going to be using for Kharkov, I realized I should probably move on to collecting more Americans. So I was able to get my hands on some secondhand late war and a couple of utility vehicles from different designers across the community. I have yet to go ahead and start building any kind of tanks.
Alright, first up for our American vehicles and equipment is the M3 half-track.
Out for the
this one here is designed by Militaristic Bricks, and over 15,000 of these were produced in real life, I believe, and tons more of the variants with the meat chopper and all that. But moving on, I added some Brickmania stickers onto this for stars, insignias, all that. Rolled up felt canvases, extra shovels, baggage added onto the sides here. The door here does open up on the rear. One of the few play features I've seen incorporated in a 145th scaled model. Other side over here just got a string wrapped around, some more backpacks, fuel cans, ammo, all that jazz. Very lovely little build. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next up is going to be the WC-54, the Dodge ambulance that they had during World War II. This was kind of a mainstay of the medical forces of the U.S. Army. This one is designed by Hunter A. Clark. Absolutely beautiful overall design. Definitely had to go and change some things. I couldn't figure everything out to be 100% sure, but very happy with what I was able to come up with. Got some Brickmania stickers as always, and yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid build. Not really much to it. Let's move on to the next one. Next up here is this Willys Jeep by Carpet Lego. Kind of slightly modified just on the front fenders here. Added lots of Brickmania stickers. The 30 cal up on top here. And yeah, not too much this. The window does fold down, but I don't really want to fidget with that. It gets kind of finicky. The gas can on the back, spare tire, all of that, and then just 1 second for a slight variation. And here's just the Jeep with a little canvas cover I made for the winter climates. This one's super simple. It just kind of sets on there, doesn't even really connect. It's just some brackets, tiles, and some slopes up here in the front. Just sets down right there. Perfect little winter Jeep. Last up for the Americans here is the Deuce and Half truck. Very much love this one. It's from Hunter Clark again. Was able to figure out mostly everything except for the rear wheels, but I was able to get something that worked for me. And we have a couple of Brickmania stickers. We also left a little driver in the front up there. And the back is just stuffed with crates, guns, rolled up canvases, one of my Brickmania, not Brickmania, but Brick Arms crates that I have printed, and also a baseball bat thrown in there, because why not? But yeah, really love the caging up here on top. It's definitely a little on the finicky side, just getting everything lined up just perfectly, but once you do, it looks absolutely stunning. But yeah, let's move on to our last nation.
So for my American figs here, I have my 1941 bodies. These I just kind of recently picked up from the Minifig Co. They look pretty alright, but I still need to order some more M1 pot helmets. Next up, we have some tankers here from the Minifig Co. I've also just recently made a order from Angel Bricks to get a lot more of those tankers, so those will be bolstered up here in the near future as well. The late war American bodies are some of my favorite figures currently. I just really love the olive color with the kind of color shifted pants. I've tried to mix in a variety of flesh tones for my American figures here. And next up we have the 101st Airborne. I've got a couple different variations, some with and some without parachutes, and I've also got a couple here that I've just recently pulled off of my Battle of the Bulge mock that I recently done. Again, these were all from TMC, and these trench coats were from Capes for Minifigs. And before we get into all of my German stuff, I have a smaller kind of sub-faction here. I've got some civilian vehicles that I've built up. I just need some kind of scatter for larger battlefields.
So first up for our civilian cars is this VW Beetle designed by Budget Builds.
I learned the hard way
this is his old design of it, but I'm still quite fond of it.
Scaled cars
I think it's super iconic, and I just really love how it turned out. I've gone ahead and modified my version to add in door handles into the door, which is a whole hassle on its own, but yeah, it's just a really small car. That's really it. It's 4 wide. It's beautiful. The techniques used in trying to get some of these shapes, very bewildering, honestly. But I was really hooked after building this, and I had to do more. After I built his VW, I reached out to him, and I was able to get his instructions for the Mercedes-Benz V70. I absolutely love this little model. You've probably seen it in the big Aachen collab that was done a few years back. I've gone ahead and built the red version here, and also the white and gray version. They're both pretty much the same. Very fragile, very U-clip intensive. Few connections are just extremely weak or like not even non-existent, so it's kind of hard to pick up and move around, but it just looks too good. I really couldn't resist. And then for the white and gray version, I'll pull it up here. Still the same. Love how you use these little shutter pieces. And another thing to mention, I went ahead and painted the grille and the headlights here in silver. I was debating on making another chrome block city order, but I realized spending another $20 to $30 to get some chrome pieces wasn't worth just me busting out my old paints. But yeah, let's move on to the next vehicle. Last up for our civilian vehicles is the Renault RSO from 1933. This one is designed by myself. After going and learning the techniques that Budget Builds use in a lot of his mocks, I was able to try and accumulate my knowledge to put something together for my own kind of 1/45th scaled car. So I've always really loved like these pictures of this truck. I don't know, just something about the like bright blue of it with the kind of like shaping, just I don't know, it feels really nostalgic to me, and I don't know why, because I've never really interacted with a truck like this before. But went ahead and built it here in blue using a lot of the same techniques I learned. This front section uses the same window shutter technique, but I had to beef it up just by a half a plate on either side of this center brick to kind of give a little bit of a beefier feel. The front here is also painted, also very U-clip intensive, very fragile. Could not figure out a way to get a lot of these connections super sturdy. I mean, there's even a 4-long lightsaber blade that's just kind of wedged in there. It'll stay, and if I turn it around and stuff, it's not gonna slide out or anything, but the stuff in the back here looks like I left in a pail, toolbox, and a saw. But the back here is another thing I was super happy about, getting these backlights in here, and along with the spare tire underneath that you can, guess it's all coming over, that you can see underneath here as well. Yeah, this underside section right here is just a whole mess of connections, but yeah, same side on this, but yeah, let's move on.
Alright guys, so Germany here definitely makes up the largest portion of my collection. I've been trying to balance that out here recently, trying to get more allied figures and vehicles, but to break this up here, we're going to break this up into the Wehrmacht, the Luftwaffe, and the Kriegsmarine, and then the SS all separately. Now, these figures are really from all over and have been mixed around body-wise, have different heads, helmets, tons of different gear from everywhere, and I want to say a majority of these vehicles are from PanzerBrickLabs for my German collection, but there are a few other designers in here as well.
Alright guys, kicking us off here for our artillery equipment, vehicles, all that good stuff, is my Panzer IV Alsif D. I took one of ARM's F2s and just kind of converted it in my own way to make it an Alsif D, as that's kind of the really iconic Panzer IV that I wanted in my collection initially. This is a fantastic little model that he does as a kit now. I added some printed elements from TMC for the viewport up here and the hatch up top as well. Got a Brickmania number 2 on either side here. Oh no, not on either side, but we do have a Brickmania Balkan Cruise on this side, and then on the top as well, as you can see, I also have the TMC printed grate tiles. Also got a 34 mounted up top here. Honestly, a beautiful little kit. Let's get right into the next one. And here is my Stug 3. This is a little kit from Parabellum Bricks that I got a while back. Super little lovely kit. The suspension, I do believe works. It does, but I ended up taking out an extra track link to try and keep a little bit more tight since they were a little loose around there. Pretty nice. Added on a little baggage tile on the back there, but yeah, overall it's just a pretty solid little kit. Let's move on to the next one. Next up here is going to be this Opel Blitz by Tiger. Absolutely fantastic little model. It's free instructions, I believe. Absolutely lovely little design. The rear door does open down here, and you can also open up this section like so to access the interior, and the brown sections here that are the canvas top can be easily removed. And then if we fold these back up here, it's like a whole new little model right here. The U-clip usage on this one maybe be a little bit excessive. Looks like we even had a tile fall off of this rear fender back here. But to get that 1/45th look, it's kind of a necessity. I also didn't want to just have one of these, as these were pretty common, so I actually did make 2, and they both roll around, do all their stuff. Another great thing with this hitchback here is, I guess we can just segue right into the next model here, the Pack 40. This is from Parabellum Bricks. Hooks up very nicely to these, and they both roll around. For the Pack 40 here, super detailed little kit. Lots of U-clips, monopods, lots of interesting connections. Everything splays out, moves how it's supposed to. The front profile is just kind of perfect in my opinion, using these 2x2 sign pieces in dark bluish gray. I definitely have plans to make one of these in white as well, and maybe even a white SDKFZ 251, to go along with it. But let's move right on to our next model. Next up is this Flak 38 from Parabellum Bricks. Well, at least heavily inspired by them. I was able to get it pretty accurately. I just wanted to add in some stripes here. The whole thing does do the folding up mechanism. Let's see if I can just kind of emulate it here, where these do fold up on the sides for stowage. The gun moves around, does all that jazz, up and down elevation, whatnot. Lots of little steering wheels on here, a sextant, just a overall pretty classic 145th Flak 88. Let's move on to our last here vehicle here. Very sorry, yeah, not the last Wehrmacht vehicle. We still have two more after this one here. This is a little German motorcycle designed by Budget Builds. An absolutely fantastic little kit. An absolute an interesting experience to build, to say the least. Very joyous with the result, but the build process on this was quite very tedious, very U-clip intensive once again. But the overall result is very nice, and I definitely want to add a tan one with a sidecar into my collection here in the future. Next up here is my Panzer IV Ausf H, designed by PanzerBrickLabs. I used his F2 body and modified it, added the attachment points for the side skirts and the upper armor going around the turret, and then converted it over to a winter stripe camouflage. It has the same printed viewport from TMC, some custom decals for the Balkan Cruise, and identification number there on the turret. This is a custom cut antenna piece in dark gray here. It's got those same printed tiles on the top for the vents, but not the hatch on this one, since those printed tiles don't come in white. Extra gas can here on the back, and ooh, there we go, now it's in focus. Overall, this one was a pretty easy conversion, definitely worth the time and effort put into getting the right colored pieces, and most especially the right colored U-clips. It really broke up I think the armor paneling, having just dark gray U-clips, but mixing in the dark gray and white corresponding to where it should be on the camouflage pattern, really sells this model. Now let's move on to the last Wehrmacht vehicle of my collection. And last up we have my Tiger 1, designed by PanzerBrickLabs. He has a camouflage version of this available in that classic ambush camouflage scheme. But for Kharkov, I specifically wanted a white Tiger, and in my collection I've always wanted either an all tan or all white Tiger, as I just feel they're the most iconic. This one I have decked to the teeth with as much field gear as possible. I was heavily inspired by the World of Tanks model that is available. Just lots of gear like the shovel, the extra tracks here along the front. The tracks here are mixed in with the brown and black to give off that muddy appearance, with the road wheels being muddy and the gray representing the whitewash starting to fade away on the paint. I have a cable here on the side. There is a Falcon Cruise and turret number up there, but it's covered up by some extra field gear, as in more tracks, STG 44. I know it's not entirely accurate to the Kharkov mock. I'm thinking about replacing it with either the extended stock MP40 or the folded stock. I'm still just kind of debating and seeing what will work best to attach the helmet up there. Got the MG up top as well. An ice pick over here, lots of ammunition boxes on the side, some extra gas cans strapped here to the back. Very interestingly, this is kind of how they were attached on the back, not just kind of flushed up against the side, but stacked in multiples going more into the tank, which I found very interesting. Rolled up canvas here on the side, a cable that goes from front to back, back to front. Then we have a rolled up log here with some chainmail lining the side, and a last little bit of track link up there on the turret. But yeah, let's move on into the SS.
Starting things off here for my Wehrmacht, I have some of my partially camouflaged soldiers. Some of them have trench coats from Capes for Minifigures and brick fabric accessories as well. Some of these are splinter and swamp camo. Moving on, we have some of my kind of just normal crew guys that I like to have for artillery pits and stuff like that. Some of these other figures are from United Bricks, so I've been kind of piecing them out, missing some legs, whatnot, but they still count. For my winter Germans, this is my kind of newer edition. It's a lot of TMC bodies, brick fabric capes, capes from minifigure trench coats, and a variety of printed heads from TMC and Angel Bricks. I got a ton of these guys for my upcoming Kharkov series. I think there was something like 20 or so in total. But yeah, moving on, we have my tankers here. Got this guy up front here with an eye patch head. I absolutely really love that head. Some extra just crew guys. And next up we have my kind of nurse or medic minifigures. Just got 6 of them in a variety of prints with some different cloth pieces here. And just as a couple bonus figures here, I have some extra bodies that I just didn't have heads for. So I've gone ahead and got in some of these brick tactical zombie heads. I grew up playing a lot of the zombie games with my friends, and I absolutely want to do something with this in the future as an entire mock. My Luftwaffe force is small but large at the same time. I only have 6 figs and 2 planes, but the Heinkel, being in 1/35th scale, unfortunately, is the largest thing in my collection currently. I just have a lot of sentimental value for it, so I haven't brought myself to take it apart yet, and it's the only thing in my collection still that's in 1/35th scale.
And here is my Messerschmitt Bf109 G6. This is based off of the K4 airframe that Mechanics Lego has as instructions, but I modified it over to a G6 livery with all the decals that I could manage to put on this thing, the extra undercarriage fuel canister, and rocket pods on either wing. This build was very interesting and was seriously what opened the door into me making my Spitfire as a 1/45th aircraft. It's absolutely beautiful. The wings have decals, these little like no step areas, very nice. The undercarriage, all the markings on the back with the kills and the no symbol. Looks like the landing gear wants to come down, but overall this is truly one of my favorite models that I have in my collection currently. just because of the detail that is in the physical model itself, but also the decals, I believe, add a lot to this model. But yeah, let's wrap this up. And alright guys, here is the Heinkel HE-111. It's Brickmania kit, but I got it as the digital instructions and built it that way. I'm also very sorry that you're seeing the edges of my light box, but this model is just ginormous, to put it lightly, honestly. This thing was the first model that kind of brought me back into the military building. I had seen the digital instructions on Brickmania when I was just kind of perusing, not super serious about mock building, and I just really fell in love with this design and slowly pieced it together through my own collection. And once I had come into parts that I had not found, I discovered Bricklink and started going crazy from there, and that's kind of how where we ended up. This is my only model that is in 1/35th. The propellers move, the landing gear all fold up. Let me get in here and start removing off some of the sections. You can access the cockpit here, the interior bomb bay, and then lastly also this little section for, oh, forgot this one should probably be removed first, and then this other little back gunner section as well. Overall, this was fairly simple to build, as most Brickmania models are. It's pretty builder friendly is what I mean. It's not super to my taste anymore at this point, just because I like to work in 1/45th, but nonetheless it's just kind of a marker in my Lego career, this model, so I've kept it around for the long haul. But yeah, let's move on to my Messerschmitt.
The Luftwaffe figs here, I just have 3 of these United Bricks bombers. Haven't really done anything to change them. And I also have a TMC fighter pilot in the center here, and I've just got a couple of kind of ground crewmen just thrown together here. Don't know where the body on the left came from. I got it as a freebie in a trade, and the body on the right just has some Harry Potter legs on the bottom. For my Kriegsmarine here, I'm developing a U-boat crew. All of these gray bodies and the officer bodies are from the Minifig Co. The hats are from Tiny Veterans. I have trying to get a full crew here. A couple of these gray bodies and all of these caps are painted by me, and then these tan guys here are custom commissioned decals that I had made. I prepared about another dozen or so of these guys, and they'll be making out a bulk of the crew. And here's just a little sneak peek of something I've been working on Studio. So for my SS forces, I just have a couple of vehicles all designed by PanzerBrickLabs and a ton of the TMC kind of Summer Oak figures that they released a while back. Only a couple figs are from other companies, but overall this is kind of one of my more completed forces, I feel. All of the vehicles are geared up, decaled, and pretty much done with.
Alright, so starting us off here with my SS vehicles, I have my STKFZ 251 designed by PanzerBrickLabs, and a matter of fact, all of these are designed by him. They're all beautiful, all fantastic, and the camouflage scheme is amazing. They're all in this, what I would assume to be ambush camouflage scheme, or that's at least how I represent it or interpret it. It's got all the decals on here. I know some of them might be harder to see just because of their placements, like on this side. That emblem is barely visible since it's on a tan piece, but fully decaled up. Beautiful work. And we also got a little printed bag tile on one of the back doors there. Overall, it's a pretty complex but sturdy kit. The tracks do fall off every once in a while, but as long as you're pretty careful with it, there's nothing really that falls off here. Let's move on to the Panthers. So the Panthers here, absolutely fantastic. Once again, these are available as a kit as well. I've gone ahead and gotten the printed viewport and decaled some turret numbers on here, as well as some insignias on the back where these little containers are on the back. Turret number on the rear, the printed vent tiles back here. Turret moves, of course, tracks move, of course. Overall, just a very beautiful model with some great build techniques. And I really wanted 2 of these for my collection, or at least for the con mock. So I do have a second one. The only differences here are going to be the camouflage scheme is slightly varied, and there is a hole in this one because it has been knocked out, and I've swapped over a lot of these pieces in the back here. If we move this one out the way, you can see a lot of these are black, so it's kind of simulating that the shell has gone through, hit the engine, and burnt out the Panther here. All the markings are same along the back. Only difference decal wise is the turret number. This is 314 while the other one was 231. Yeah, these are pretty awesome, and I absolutely loved having these in my collection. Let's move on to the Königstiger. Oh man, this thing is massive. I absolutely love this. It is PanzerBrickLabs design, of course. I had gotten this one second hand from someone in Austria. I was able to piece it back together after its shipping. I was able to get my hand on more tan U-clips, add those front fenders on. I've also gone ahead and changed out the shovel for this custom piece here, added on these towing cables, added lots and lots of these track links up here on the turrets. Decided to not go for a lot of bags, rolled up cloths, field gear, all that. Just kind of keep it bare bones, but I really wanted the entire turret to be covered in track links, because when I see model kits of Tigers, that's just, well, King Tigers, that's just kind of how I see them. Absolutely beautiful. Got the printed hatch up here, turret number of 13 going around to all 3 sides, along with the Balkan crews up here as well. The turrets does move, but since I've added on the track links on the side, the friction caused by the rubber bands that go around the panels of the turret make it a little bit harder, so it's more of a positioned kind of fix at this point. Over on this side, you can kind of see some of the same, just some logs over here on this side instead of the shovel, and the turret number 13 being quite visible from this side on that reddish brown.
And for the figs, as I stated before, a lot of these are the TMC printed bodies, and also the helmets as well. Really enjoyed getting these guys just for my con series to represent the 12th SS Division. Don't know really what I want to do next with these guys, and I do have tons and tons of duplicates. For the medics here, I was actually pretty proud of how these guys came out. The Brickmania sticker packs don't really work well on minifigures, in my opinion, like torso and like leg wrap wise, but the just like crate packs and just adding these small little medic symbols I definitely enjoy doing. Next up, we just have 4 of these guys that I recently got from Parabellum Bricks. They're just the normal gray SS bodies. And to round us off, I've got 2 tankers. One is from TMC, and the .44 camo pattern guy is from Valiant Bricks. There you have it, guys. The whole collection as of right now. I want to say a huge thanks to all of you who've stuck around to the end of the video, but I thought I'd just briefly share my future plans of what I have for my collection. First and foremost, I want to bolster up my American armor, and I'm working on some planes right now that I think will fit in pretty well. Next, I would like to work on starting another Axis army, preferably the Japanese, but moving forward, I'm trying to only collect figures with fully printed legs, so that kind of knocks out some old figures out of the question. Along with breaking into the Pacific Theater, I'd like to try my hand at some North Africa themed models. PanzerBrickLabs is kind of doing that right now himself, and they look absolutely fantastic. But without giving out too much more away, I'd like to say thank you once again for watching, and to make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below, and to make sure to keep your eyes peeled out for the next episode of Building Kharkov in the future. With all that said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.